Hello, we are Laura and Jaime, and we're going to talk about Moet Hennessy in Spain. Moet Hennessy in Spain is a company that was created in 1995 to distribute Moet Hennessy products in Spain. The company is in charge of producing and distributing a beverage like Moet, Dom Perignon, Hennessy, or Veuve Clicquot in Spain. It is based in Barcelona and covers 75% of the champagne sales in Spain. Before making the diagnosis of the case, we are going to define our problem. The problem centers on the relationships between employees in the sales and in the finance departments. The company does not work as a team due to the cultural difference that exists between the workers and between the departments. It seems that they only work together when there's a problem to solve, so they are forced to work together until an agreement is reached, so that the company can demonstrate that there are values that are respected. This might be because the finance and sales department cannot find common interest and define themselves as artists for the marketing people or scientific people in the finance department. Now, we are going to set the mission, vision, and values. The mission of the group is to represent the most refined qualities of Western art de vivre around the world. The vision is to ensure the development of each of its houses while respecting their identities and their autonomy, providing the resources needed to create, produce, and market their products and services through carefully selected channels. And the values are to be creative and innovative, to deliver excellence, and to cultivate entrepreneurial spirit. What's the core business of the group? Well, the main activity of Moet Hennessy Spain is the production and distribution of premium branding drinks involving brands Moet, Hennessy, and Dom Perignon, attending the demand of the luxury products in Spain. The period when the company makes more profit is the last trimester of the year because of Christmas arrival. And the main products are wines and spiritual drinks. And what about the competitors? Well, a statistic shows that the leading companies in the spirit sector in Spain, according to their business figures in 2017, the company Pernod Ricard Spain had occupied the first position, followed by Miguel Torres S.A., whose sales were close to 275 million euros. As we can see, Moet Hennessy Spain is in the top 10, according to these statistics that we have found in El Estatita. Therefore, in regards to the Spanish market, its main competitor is the company of Pernod Ricard Spain. Now, I'm going to talk about MHE framework. We define the structure of the company as a functional structure, where there are pros as improvement of the employees' skills, the quality offered, and cons as the communication between the departments is limited, and this is perfectly shown in this case, causing a main problem. There is another cons in the functional structure, that it fits good to the short term, but in a long term, the company is forced to make a structure again of the different departments. We also made a cage distance framework, where we talk about the cultural distance, where there is not a cultural distance because Moet Hennessy Spain only sells to people in Spain. Administrative distance, well, where Spain acts neutrally and there is not political helps to any enterprise of this sector. Geographic distance, there is not a significant distance, but the origin of these products comes from France. And the economic distance, well, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy is a luxury brand, so not everybody has the same access to buy it. We also made a SWOT analysis so we can see the helpful and the harmful factors that affect our enterprise in the internal and in the external. So we're going to first talk in the internal, the fortresses, for example, strong brand identity, best quality products, market control, a lot of progress on the learning and modernization due to the standardization of the tasks, very efficient company, and very good economic results. And weakness, we define weakness as harmful internal variables. For example, bad relationship between the departments, constantly changing the structure of the sales department. There were time of the years where there were more employees than the number that they needed, and there is not a common culture share. That's very important. Then the external helpful as opportunities like entering new markets or distribute more variety of products. And in threats that are the harmful external variables, the bad relationships can end into a bankrupt to the enterprise, or the employees can feel unconfident doing their jobs and try to look for another job in another place. And the competitors can get closer to us because we are going to sell less and they're going to have best numbers, so they're going to get closer.
For the external environment, we use the Porter's five forces, where the bargaining power of supplier we consider it low because the company often purchases the raw materials from suppliers in basis of the consignment. Then, with this method, it reduced the the lost marketing of the established economy of sale. Moet Hennessy Group suppliers are simply original equipment and manufacturers in critical alliances with the foreign players in their innovation. The second factor that we used to consider it low is in the bargaining power is that the fact that there is an excess of supply of Moet Hennessy's group units as a result of the large scale of manufacturing of these lending industry players, which has decreased the price per unit as well as the raised negotiating power of the purchaser. Then the threat of the substitutes. We consider it relatively high because even though there are various brands and the same time of products, as a brand is considered as high, there are market targets that will have preference, such as the quality of the brand loyalty. Then the degree of the rivalry we consider it high because the customers' loyalty for the Moet Hennessy's group is among the time. The product, service, and quality are undeniable, whereby a new entrant that cannot be comparable for a short period of time. Although the rivalry of the competitors is completely low in Spain, it would be advisable to increase the investment in marketing to raise that position to comparing with the other competitors. For the bargaining power of the buyer, we consider it low because the target for customers are smaller in terms of market sizes. They are high and the balancing with the individuals or middle market the first customers. One fixes the delay. Then the threat we of the entry we consider in the case low was because the dangers of the entry in the organization structure do not have manufacturing sector are low, owing the errors of the we structure think that the problem can be solved by means of the correction, well purchasing devices, changing the structure of the company to the expensive can see themselves with the same objects, and also creating a work environment where there are in a common culture in which the employees can work as one team. We think that this will give a positive result in both short term and long term. Then the balancing with the delay, since the archetype explains the system in which it responds to the action of the delay, we think that it congeals too because the changes are made in the organization structure by not being the given sufficient opportunity, and could be avoided by being patient to the system reactions to the measure taken. For the solution, according with the 4-cup model, first the sense, Ramiro Tanyon always knew that the company could be very efficient to be accepted as a challenge. Um, but in the recent years, the marketing and the finance department have developed a bad relationship. It was not a proactive relationship where they can help each other to get the best results. They only talk to each other when they were in a problem to solve. And for the relationship they had, well, Ramiro Taño, as a leader of the company, in the cultivate a healthy relationship based in mutual respect for the workers. He had a mission to connect these two departments. To the vision, Ramiro has to look to the future. To maintain the company's profits, the company has to work as a team with the same purpose or objects in the same cultural sense, with ethical visions to share the common purpose.
Since we are talking about the anthropological model of Pérez López, we think that
among the workers
in the actuality or in the case, we see that they are working like in a mechanically type of structure where all the employees see each other like different persons, or don't seems like they know that they are
they
in
had a very
the
low
same
level
boat
of
or in the
relationship
same
between
company,
the people
like they
in other
only help
departments,
each other when
and
they
he
need,
invented
but
a
they
way
don't
to
seem
understand
like
employee
work
behavior.
as one team. So we want they to work as an anthropological model where all the employees can talk each other. The communication needs to be developed, and maybe we have to work the transcendental motives behind. Therefore, we offer a solution where Moet Genesis España is grabbed by 5 departments. Since each has their own individual work, we believe that a good company has very many departments that must work together, helping, complementing each other, and reach the final goals of the company, of course. And although the company has good financial results, but it's necessary to improve the relationship between the workers, between this way to can not only reduce the level of a turnover of the employees. They can adapt this, and it's possible to improve our financial position and our image as a company. That's why our solution is based on the improving this in relationship with the staff, like The workers
So
should
now we have
recognize
the action
the
plan.
situation.
The first
that
thing we
makes
propose is
the
to
effort
change
to
the
understand
motivational
the needs
structure of the team.
other
To-
departments.
To do this, we
This
have
is
studied
like
the
an
anthropological
action
model of the
that
leadership
involves
all
of
the members of the
Lopez,
company, from the workers
structure
considered
the
anthropological model,
the most
essential of the
company
to
who
the
distingues
CFO, the
and
uncertain
the
dimensions
managers.
from the management
The company
work
values
on the
have
basis
to be
implemented
motivational
and
functions.
this activity
First,
the
where
work of the
everyone
managerial
must to
leadership
keep
recognition should be improved
that as a
in
long-term
the certain to get the employees
in
a
the part
transitional
of the
transcendental motives in order to increase
for
the
we
organization
will apply
unity.
the anthropological model of
The
Perez
second
Lopez.
one, the second thing is that they have the manager has to improve the executive talent, manifesting the ability to discover subordinates talents and skills, to understand their weaknesses and communicate the objectives, and design the tasks that stimulates the energy flowing from these workers to the internal motivations. And the third thing is the strategic talent of the manager, because the opportunities they have to work to enable the organization. The next thing that we propose to the action plan is to change the structure of the organigram into a matrixal one, where to incorporate the we can incorporate a human resources department who will oversee the impose of an employee code conduct. This conduct will be